Hi there, my name is Amalia. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about the books I will read in the month of July. First of all, I want to talk about the books I borrowed from my library. I have a mini haul of, I think, 4 books. And then I want to talk about Jane Austen July. Jane Austen July is a month-long readathon hosted by Katie from Books and Things, and I participated last year and it was a lot of fun, and I want to do it again. So I have a few books to read for that. But let's start with the books I have from my library. The first book I picked up from the library is a nonfiction, and it is Boko Haram, Inside Nigeria's Unholy War by Mike Smith. There was a whole section on Africa at the library displayed when I was there, and this one piqued my interest, especially because I've been hearing on and off about this terrorist group Boko Haram on the news, and apart from hearing that they abducted 200 girls from a school, I don't know much about them. But as the back says as well, this is a group everyone hears about, but no one really knows about it as much. So I'm looking forward to getting some more insight into this terrorist group. And Mike Smith is a reporter who's been stationed in Africa, in Nigeria, for 3 years. So I'm thinking he really knows a lot about the subject. So I can't wait to read this one. The next book I picked up was Helen Oyeyemi's Boys Snowbird. I picked this up knowing absolutely nothing about it. All I know is I keep hearing about Helen Oyeyemi and her books all the time on BookTube, and I guess seeing it there, I decided to grab it. What I found out about it since was that this is inspired by fairy tales, and it is about 3 women and their relationship, and the 3 women being Boy, Snow, Bird. So quite unusual names, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this is all about. Then I picked up Miss Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. This will be my second Virginia Woolf novel. I read A Room of One's Own a couple of years ago, and I really liked it. And I think this is one of her most famous novels. In Miss Dalloway, we follow a day of Miss Dalloway's life in which she prepares for a party. So I don't know more about that, but there's been movies about this and everyone raves about how good this book is. And as far as I know, this is the first novel in which Virginia Woolf really honed her writing style, and which she really came into her own in how she writes, so which is stream of consciousness. I don't usually always get along with this style of writing, but I'm hoping, since I love The Room of One's Own, I will also like this one. And then the last book I picked up from my library is The Danish Girl by David Ebershoff. This has been on my radar ever since the movie came out a couple of years ago. This is about a marriage between 2 artists, 2 painters, and it is set in Paris and in Copenhagen. But it also details how Einar Weine transitioned from man to woman. So he is among the first who went through a sex-changing operation. I'm really excited to see how these 2 people in a marriage dealt with this happening. As it is set also in the 1920s, I really like this period. I read The Great Gatsby, and I'm expecting also some glamour and just some fun in there as well. But it is also, I think, a really hard read because back then the medical industry wasn't as advanced as it is now. So I don't know how these operations were performed and how it went. And now let's get into the books I will read for Jane Austen July. There are some challenges for this month-long readathon, and I'm not sure I'm gonna follow them all, but I do tend to get a bit lost in the world of Jane Austen throughout this month. So I'm gonna start off Jane Austen July by reading Persuasion. This is one of the books by Jane Austen which I haven't read yet. I have watched 2007 TV adaptation with Sally Hawkins many times. It's my favorite adaptation of Persuasion. So I'm looking forward to finally reading the novel. I won't get into the plot because I assume a lot of people know what Jane Austen's novel is about. Marriage, I guess. I'm looking forward to getting into this one. Then I decided to watch one of my favorite Pride and Prejudice adaptations, and it's gonna be the 1995 BBC adaptation with Colin Firth. This one, as I said, is my favorite Pride and Prejudice adaptation, and I watch it every other year. I really, really like it. Then next to this, I'm going to read 3 Pride and Prejudice retellings. Now, this might be a bit over the top. I mean, reading 3 maybe sounds a bit excessive, but let's see if I can do it. I researched the diverse retellings for Pride and Prejudice, and I came up with some novels. And the 3 I'm going to read is Pride by Ibi Zoboi. I'm going to read Ayesha at Last by Uzma Jalaluddin, sorry, and Unmarriageable by Soniah Kamal. So let's see how it goes with these. I hope I can get to all of them. And then lastly, in case I'm still struggling to find some more things to read, I don't think I will, because I have quite an ambitious TBR here. But there are some more challenges for Jane Austen July. And one of these is to read a nonfiction book about Jane Austen, and another is to read something else written by Jane Austen apart from her 6 main novels. So for the nonfiction book, I have Lucy Worsley's Jane Austen at Home. I picked this up when I was in Bath at the Jane Austen Museum. I have read previously some nonfiction books about Jane Austen, but I really heard some good things about this one, so I can't wait to get to it. And the small book I'm going to read, which is not part of Jane Austen's main 6 books, is this small little, I don't know what even you call it. This is written by Jane Austen, and it is the history of England by a partial, prejudiced, and ignorant historian. I think she wrote this at a very early age. And it says also here, there will be very few dates in this history. So I guess in this I'm like Jane Austen. I don't like historic books with a lot of dates in them. So this is quite short. And then I think it's just a cute thing she did. So I picked this up also at the Jane Austen Museum in Bath. So I think I can get to this one. Pretty sure I can. So these are the books I'm planning to read for the month of July. It's quite an ambitious TBR, but I'm really planning to get to most of these books, especially the Jane Austen books. Let me know in the comments below if you're also a fan. I'm looking forward to getting immersed in the Jane Austen world. Yes, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that, but that's it from me now, and then I'll see you in the next video. Bye!